Marcus, and what technologies excite you the most as a CTO? AI, quantum computing, anything you want to mention?
I think those two, like AI is of course very interesting, and we're talking about this, like a lot of people, like including Bill Gates, saying this is like um, probably the most impactful technology they saw in their lifetime, and certainly for me, right? Because just the variety of tasks that we can accomplish with it, like it's so great. Before AI, like I was super excited about search. That's why I dedicated so many years of my life for search. Like being someone very interested in education and technology and research, right? I think having a tool that really can automate knowledge transfer and summarize like knowledge and really make like information more available to people, I think was very important and very relevant problem for me that I wanted really to solve. And I think we did like a great job in search, and then like I think now AI is just the next step. And when you talk about quantum, people in general feel that quantum is really a faster computer or like a bigger computer, but it's really not it. Like in fact, if you compare like the specifications of quantum computer to a classical computer, the quantum computer by many measures is smaller and slower than a classical computer. But for certain types of problems, the quantum computer will be able to do a much better job than a classical computer, because the way it operates, like it's very different than the way a classical computer operates. We've probably heard of bits like 0 and 1. You can say like computers are 0, 1. So everything we do in a computer is basically computing functions of zeros and ones, while quantum computers, they work more on vectors, right? And then like so this is like a lot more degrees of freedom, and then we can do a lot more interesting operations for certain types of problems. And these tend to be the problems that are very hard to solve in a classical computer, because they would take exponential time. When I say exponential time, like think about 2 to the power of n, when n can be very large. Like at that point, like if you write a program that takes that amount of time, it will never finish in a classical computer, but it can finish very quickly in some cases in a quantum computer. So I'm very excited too about the advances we're seeing in quantum computer, because in quantum computers and quantum computing algorithms, because some of the key problems like that that we can model, like even the natural systems, even quantum mechanics itself, biology systems and all that, they tend to be of the nature that they can be greatly accelerated by quantum computers. So that would be an innovation that probably can bring a lot of fruits for like all the basic sciences. So that would be super interesting. And also all the applications of AI for simulation and of like biological system, protein folding, all these things. I think it's an area that we are seeing a lot of innovation happening. A lot of the recent Nobel Prizes in physics and chemistry were awarded to people working on AI and simulation, because of that ability that we have now to, instead of like having to test like biological changes in a lab that take a lot of time to happen, we can just simulate it in a computer and make it happen a lot faster. So we can make disproportionate progress on some of these experiments that were very hard to do. So I am super excited about that. But I do feel that more important than the technologies, right, is more like what types of applications we want to build. And I feel that there are applications that I think we should, as a society, require that we work on those things. Like for me, like one of the things is like self-driving cars is one example of like, I see potentially a very big impact in many aspects of our life, right? Like first, reduction of accidents and deaths, lower cost, less traffic, less pollution, probably like some impact on how we do urbanization in cities. We can have less parking lots, more green spaces and green areas, and this is one of the problems that we have the technology, and the technology is there, but like the application is not there, right? Like I think we as a society didn't say like let's invest in this and go full force deploying like self-autonomous vehicles, and this is seems to be still a few years out, but I thought that would be already there like when I saw the technology like maybe 15 years ago. And then it seemed to me that we are closer, and it seems to me that we have most of the technology, but we just don't have the willpower to from government and from society to fully deploy it. And so that's one thing that to me it would be like our generation Manhattan project could be like, let's just really deploy autonomous vehicles everywhere, right? Like it could have like a huge impact in the economy, create lots of jobs, in like huge potential to build better infrastructure, solve some affordability problems for housing and so on. So I'm really bullish on that.